we will pay homage to the Buddha by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. So last night I have explained up to Narapindika's request. Yeah, one more thing I have to add. After coming back from Buddha's native town, the Buddha spent his Vassa in Rajagaha. There was one bhikkhu and his disciple who spent Vassa in Buddha's native town. That one is Venerable Puna, Mandani Buddha. So Mandani is his mother's name. Buddha means son of Mandani. Last night I also have already told that he was nephew of Venerable Anyasi. So he spent his time in Buddha's native town. There are many of his Dhamma friends also spent there. For him is the first Vassa, Buddha's second Vassa in Rajagaha. So we can easily know, together with the Buddha, there are only 60 Arhats who can spend the first Vassa. So the rest of bhikkhus, including Venerable Sariputta, Venerable Mahamoggallana, Venerable Mahakassapa, in the second Vassa they were ordained. Then we also have some special quality of Venerable Puna. He is good practitioners, also good Dhamma talker. We can also understand another way. He himself was a good practitioner. He also can help many of his Dhamma friends. So in the Majjhima Nikaya, Ratha Vanita Sutta, we can find his qualification. The first one is Apicha. Apicha means wanting a letter. Wanting a letter means he don't wish to get many things, many properties. So especially if we try to reveal non-existent quality, for example, not really observing precepts, we pretend that we are observing precepts very well. That's called apicha. There's a papicha, evil wish, evil intention. Then similarly, we want to catch many things from many people, persuading or hinting many things. All these things are also called papicha, evil. But Venerable Puna was opposite. He just went to get a letter. He don't want to get many things. He never hints. Although he was very strong in morality, he will not say that he was moral. So sometimes we have the problem. Somebody observes precept very well. There are some people who cannot precept very well. Then after that, the one who can observe precept very well will be proud of his morality. This is not really good attitude. In the case of Venerable Puna, he has wanted a letter. He also never revealed his qualification. Then he just spent his time by meditating. Also, he lived very simply. So this means robes, very little. No need to carry many robes. Similarly, residence or kuti, even very simple kuti is enough for him. food, whether good or bad, he didn't complain anything. This is his mind. Another one is santoti, contentment. So wanting a little and contentment will be a little bit different. Every time we wanting a little, yeah, this means santoti, contentment. Contentment means we just content with whatever we have gotten. So sometimes we may expect that then we cannot get. It may tired. It wastes a lot of mental energy. So Venerable Bona was not that kind of person. He is very simple. He will never expect what he cannot get. So he can satisfy with whatever people offer. This is the first thing, the first type of contentment. Another thing is he is content with whatever thing he can use. There are many things we have accepted, but we cannot use all the things. We just keep, in case we may need, keep, for example. This is the nature of human being. In the case of Venerable Bona, it's very simple. He will not keep extra things. He just keep what he can use now. He will not think about tomorrow or tomorrow or next week or next month. So another thing is only suitable things or proper things. For example, in the winter, it should be very thick clothes. In the rainy season, the road must be easy to dry. So this is the way we have to practice. So in brief, he has very strong contentment. Whatever robes, foods, and residence or medicine be offered, even very small thing can please him. No complaint. Also, he just keep what he can use. If he cannot use, he cannot keep. He just keep only suitable thing for him. If unsuitable, he will not keep that one. Just give it to other bhikkhus or return to lay devotees like that. So he has very strong contentment. That's why his livelihood is very simple, very easy to bleed him. Then the next one is we call seclusion, Pa-Auk. This means seclusion means he just live alone most of the time, not associated with many people. Another thing is he just meditates all the time. This is also called seclusion. In the case of seclusion, we have two: mental solitude and bodily solitude. If we say bodily solitude, this means we live alone. If we say mental solitude, that means we have special meditation subject. Our favorite meditation subject, day or night or any time. This is called seclusion. In brief, here seclusion means mind is far from defilements. Then he can keep his mind far from defilements. That is called viveka, seclusion or solitude. Then another thing is dissociation. Dissociation means he didn't associate with many people or many lay devotees. Especially, here we call Gihi Sansaka. Gihi Sansaka means associating with lay devotees too much. That means like whoever lay devotee come, have to give Dhamma talk, explain something. For example, it make busy, cannot meditate very well. So not Dhamma association. If necessary, he will give Dhamma talk. For example, after lunch one time, in the evening one time, for example. Only some association, not very much association. Actually, we have many different types of association mentioned in the text. Most of the things are not for lay devotees, especially for bhikkhus, including properties. So maybe transferring properties, exchanging properties, all these also can be considered as an association. It may be busy. Anyway, so now so far I have explained 4 things. The first one is wanting a letter. This means he will not reveal his existing quality. he will not reveal his non-existent quality also. He don't hint to offer him anything. Not allows a contentment, content with what he gets, what he is suitable, proper, or what he can use. Now the next one is a seclusion and not association. He himself also practices. He can also encourage his Dhamma friends. But sometimes we can practice for ourselves, but to encourage others is not that much easy. Another thing is to guide others. He can also guide others how to do. We have many Vinaya rules. If we don't have practical experience, very difficult to practice. So we have to ask somebody who has experience practically. When that kind of thing happens, what do you do? How shall we do? When that kind of thing happens, what shall we do? There are many experienced persons. They can guide us. Similarly now, Venerable Buddha, he himself also practiced very strictly. He can also guide his Dhamma friends to follow the Buddha teaching properly. He himself also has very little contentment. Very little. He also can recommend or guide his Dhamma friends to be like him. This is his qualification. Then, one more thing, he was also diligent. So I have talked about diligence many times, especially Viriya efforts. Many times I have already said here. Even last night I have also to talk about Parami, but I never talk about Viriya Parami. Right? So today I have to talk about Viriya a little bit more. So, in the case of Viriya also, we have standard Viriya, medium Viriya, or ultimate Viriya. We can divide into the three. We can also understand another way, inferior Viriya, medium Viriya, or superior Viriya. Three types. How can we know that we have Viriya? Then what kind of Viriya do we have? Actually, by our daily activities, we can know whether we have really Viriya or not. For example, we have started many things. In the very beginning, we stop all the things. Then we have inferior Viriya. Those who have inferior Viriya will start many things, many activities, but never make end, never complete. Only in the very beginning point, stop. This is called inferior Viriya. Then when we have medium Viriya, we will start many things, then we will continue doing, we will stop in the halfway. So this is the way we have to understand. If we have superior Viriya, as we have started, we will go to the ends continuously. This is called Viriya. Then one more thing here. In the case of Viriya, briefly we can understand to improve wholesome actions or to develop wholesome actions and to give up unwholesome action. So we have to use energy for both. To make better lifetime, we have to make efforts. Although it's very easy to say, but not that much easy to do. We have to learn a lot, we have to train a lot, we have to encounter many difficulties. If we can overcome many difficulties, we can know that we have Viriya. We have Viriya. So the power of Viriya can be known by what we have already overcome. If we can have overcome many things, then we can know that we have very strong Viriya. If we have given up many difficulties, just come back to previous place, then we have very weak Viriya. So this means before encountering difficulty, we are very diligent. When we encountering difficulty, mental energy becomes a bit weaker. In every meditation retreat, the same. In every retreat, the first day very active. Second day, when they feel pain a little bit, they consider I should go back or not. After maybe 2 or 3 days, cannot improve anymore, just pain. Okay, I better go back, for example. Let me give up. So that means when we have difficulty, we must have more vidya. If we don't have vidya, we will give up. In any cases, not only in meditation, even in business, we may have difficulty. Without difficulty, we cannot improve also. Okay, now, Venerable Buddha, he was very diligent. Then he can give up all the unwholesome actions. He also trying very hard to give up unwholesome actions. He also trying to accumulate and develop wholesome actions. This is his way of practice. Then another one, modality, sila. He himself was very strong, modality. He also can encourage his Dhamma friends to observe the modality very strictly. Then concentration. He himself was a good meditator who can concentrate very well. He also can encourage his Dhamma friends how to meditate well, how to establish concentration. So for our own personal experience, it's very easy. But to teach others is not that much easy. When I start the first month in Pa-Auk, actually before I come back, I arrive at Pa-Auk, I meditate in other Pa-Auk branches, other Pa-Auk branch. When I get improved, I go to Pa-Auk. Then my neighbor are my senior, 2 seniors are my neighbor. We have to go to the Sima Hall together, we come back together. On the way, we talk about meditation. Then I talk to them. Anapanasati is not that much difficult. That means those who say difficult, that means they are not that much diligent. When I say like that, my senior remind me, everybody is not Kovida. So that means it will be easy for you, but for us it will be very difficult. They reply like that, me like that. Anyway, so the main thing is, for our personal experience, okay, we can say easy. It is our skill. If we know how to focus, how to maintain, how to improve, very easy. If we remember what's the difficulty, what's the disturbance, what's the hindrances, what's the really blockage, what's the obstacle, if we can know everything, we can overcome. We can solve our problem by ourselves. That we have to know many things. We have to encounter many difficulties to overcome that one. Then, now, previously when Buddha practiced anapanasati, he controlled his breath. He also feel tension, headache, very much pain. I have said, right? I also have experienced the same. I also feel pain. But later I realized this is not the right way. I also know that sutta. I don't know. I'm controlling my breath unknowingly. Later I this is also controlling unknowingly. So finally, I have to change slowly. Anyway, so the main point is, we may have many difficulty. We have to overcome all the difficulty. Then we must know how to maintain, how to improve. This is the way of concentration. If we can know how to maintain and how to improve, sure, we can improve faster and faster. We can overcome all the difficulties. So here, Venerable Buddha, he can solve many problems when his Dhamma friend encounter difficulty, especially when they meditate. Another thing, his wisdom faculty is also very strong and very sharp. That means he is also arhat. Moreover, he also, from time to time, he also entered to fruition attainment. He also to review his path and fruition knowledge like that. He can also encourage his Dhamma friends to attain that kind of things. This is his qualification. So, after the Vassa, Venerable Buddha spent Vassa in Kapilavatthu. At the very year, the Buddha spent in Rajagaha. After the Vassa, Venerable Buddha approached the Buddha, came to Rajagaha. On arrival, the Buddha asked their condition. Then Venerable Buddha didn't talk about his qualification, but his Dhamma friends. When the Buddha asked, how is your meditation? How is your Dhamma? What is your the friendship? Then they talk about Venerable Buddha. We have good friends, Buddha, Mandani Buddha. He who has that kind of qualification, they reported all the things to the Buddha. So here we have to ask one question. They spent Vassa in Buddha's native town. The Buddha didn't ask after his father. What about my father? What about my aunt, my Prajapati Gautami? What about my uncle? Many relatives. He didn't ask. He just asked their meditation. Then that means the Buddha respects Sangha more. That's when Buddha just talk about Sangha, as Akula Sangha. The Buddha respects the Dhamma more. That's why the Buddha asked about the Dhamma. Then, at the time, Venerable Sariputta was sitting nearby the Buddha. On hearing their conversation for the Buddha, he wished to see Venerable Buddha. One day, if I have opportunity, I will see Buddha, and I will ask a question. Then we can discuss some Dhamma with him. He had the plans. So after the Vassa, together with Venerable Buddha, the Buddha visited Savatthi. The first time Buddha visited. So last night I have already told you, another Bindika invited the Buddha. He also trying to offer his monastery, Jetavana. So it's big land. He cost a lot of money. He had to spend a lot of money for it. So it should be Another Bindika Park. Why it became Jeta Park? When another Bindika looked for proper place for the Buddha, he found the place. The Prince Jeta's garden, Prince Jeta's park. It's not very far from the city, not very noisy, also not that much far. We can go easily and we can come back anytime. It was also a quiet place. So he approached Prince Jeta and said, requested to sell his park. But Prince Jeta said, although you give full of golden coin for this land, I will not give you. The Nara Bindika know how to make that one. Then he bring all his gold and golden coin and he trying to fill up the land with the golden coin. Then Prince Jeta also, overhearing that, came to see Nara Bindika. Why you are doing that like this? You say the price. That means you are going to sell. If you don't want to sell, you will not say the price. Now you say the price that you want to sell. So I'm buying this one. I bought this one. Now only one line is remaining around the gate, entrance gate, archway. So not enough gold, so he asked his worker to bring more gold from his house. He's waiting for the gold. Prince Jeta also think, seeing another Bindika. Although he had to spend a lot of very big amount of money, especially golden coin, his mind is fresh, very bright. His face also very bright. He was very active. There was something special for him. It will be very beneficial for him. That's why he has that kind of mind. Then he say, okay, now this one I will not say you. Then just allow me to offer this land. So only remaining part is only the gate. In the gate, this is the gate. This Jeda Park. This one. The gate is Jeda Park. So he make some decoration. That's why the one's name called Jeda Grove. Actually, it should be another Bindika Grove. But he didn't say that part. That's why it became Jeda Grove. Anyway, so Nara Bindika spent very big amount of money to build monastery. Whole the Vassa he tried. After the Vassa, when the Buddha came, he also arranged everything in detail. Many people, including the King Paseniti Kosala and also the princess, prince, and all the Brahmins, all his family members, they are welcoming the Buddha. In that assembly, the Buddha also delivered a discourse. It doesn't mention what kind of discourse, because it's no Bhubhigata. Then Nara Bindika himself attained Sodapatti path and fruition already previously. History, Sodapatti. But his family member, his wife, daughters attained Sodapatti here again. Moreover, the king cannot attain anything, but the king's daughter, Princess Sumana, attained Sodapatti path and fruition knowledge in the assembly. So he spent very long time. This means after offering monastery to Buddha and the Sangha, then he spent very long time serving the Sangha, around 9 months. This means before the next Vassa, Buddha spent in the Savatthi, only Savatthi, without going any other. At the time, Venerable Sariputta was waiting for a chance to see Venerable Buddha. One day, Venerable Buddha was in the Andavana forest, spending his daytime with fruition attainment. Venerable Sariputta was also there, spending his time with fruition attainment. In the evening, Venerable Sariputta, emerging from his attainment, approached Venerable Buddha, Mandani Buddha. So here, you have to remember Venerable Buddha, Mandani Buddha. There was another Buddha in next Dhamma talk. Right? So he approached and also asked some question. He has also had attention. One day I can see Buddha, I can discuss Dhamma. It really happened when he was in Savatthi. Then the Venerable Sariputta asks very simple question. The one is the purifications of morality leads. Do you practice the Dhamma only for the purifications of morality? The Venerable Buddha says, not for that, not only for that. Then do you practice the Dhamma for the purifications of mind, that means concentration? Venerable Buddha said, no, Venerable Sir. Then again, he asked, do you practice the Dhamma for the purifications of view? They say, no, Venerable Sir. If we summarize, we have 7 purifications. Venerable Sariputta asked one after another. Then Venerable Buddha said, no, Venerable Sir, not for this purification. Then one more question comes. Why do you practice? I have asked 7 purifications. You say, not for that. For what purpose do you practice the Dhamma? He said, not grasping anything and attain Nirvana. I practice. Then Venerable Sariputta also asked again, you have said you don't practice for purification of morality. That means purification of morality is not for liberation, realizing nirvana, or not grasping anything. Venerable Mahaprabhu also say, yes, this is not for liberation. No, not only for that. So he asked 7 purification one after another. Then he asked similarly, why you can say so? If ordinary people ask me, actually, sila also for no attachment, and not grasping actually. For him, he answered a little bit different. Why you can say so? Then Venerable Puna gave one simile. Let's say, distance between Savatthi to Rajagaha, the king will go with 7 chariots. So 7 chariots are waiting on the way. So the king came out from the palace. He take up 1 chariot, go up, and he found the next chariot. After that, he got out of his chariots and go in another chariot. Going his journey in this way, 7 chariots. Similarly, purification of morality is 1 chariot. We can drive this chariot until we can see the next one. Purification of the mind, concentration. We can drive the chariot until we can find the next purification. Finally, after attainment, we have to give up all the chariot. We don't need to carry the chariot. So the Buddha also mentioned similar things. That means, like we have the simile of the raft. So there was a man who wished to cross over the river. He could not get any boat, any ferry. He could not find any raft there also. Then if we have to live in this site, he had full of danger. If he can cross over the river, other side, it will be very secure. So he cut many wood, make a raft by himself, and just cross over the river. After crossing over the river, he will not bring the raft wherever he go. The raft is very beneficial for me. The raft bring me to a safety place, for a safe place. So he will not bring the raft wherever he go. He will keep the raft on the shore, in the bank of the river. He will leave. Similarly, the Buddha also recommended, don't grasp anything, even the Dhamma. So we must not grasp Adhamma, sure, and truth. We must not grasp Adhamma. But here the Buddha recommends, even truth Dhamma, don't grasp. After practicing, if we can practice successfully, we have to give up everything. So, in brief, we have Visuddhimagga. Visuddhimagga also mentions 7 purification. There are many people who say, Visuddhimagga just mentioned, this is only commentary, later version, not Buddha teaching. Many people complain. Actually, 7 purification can be found in Majjhima Nikaya. Then, we can also find what is a sila. If we say sila visuddhi, we can find about sila in Jigga Nikaya. Many sutta Buddha mentions sila. Ditthi visuddhi, we can, if we know Samma Ditthi, we have Ditthi visuddhi. Citta visuddhi, if we Samma Samadhi, Citta visuddhi, and so on. He explained many things. Okay, here in brief, 7 purification can be found in Majjhima Nikaya. There is a dialogue between Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Puna Mandani Buddha. They discuss 7 purification. So, one more. When Buddha was in his native town, he brought his younger brother, Venerable Nanda. He was not very happy with ordination. You have already know that one. Right? Not very happy. He just was to disrobe, homesick all the day, all night. How long does it take? Previously we cannot know how long does it take. Now I can know how long does it take because I have to explain that one. So before the Vassa, the Buddha brought him from Kapilavatthu to Rajagaha. Whole Vassa he spent in Rajagaha, not very happy. After Vassa also the Buddha brought him to Savatthi, not yet happy. Then in Savatthi, he openly talked to Dhamma, I will run away. I am disturbed. When hearing that, the Buddha asked him to follow for a while and show monkey, show deva, something like that. You have already know all the story. Finally, he could know repositiveness meditation. Then he could also attain arhatship. So that means Venerable Nanda attained arhatship in Savatthi, not in Rajagaha or Kapilavatthu. So that means it took more than 3 months, maybe around 4 months or 5 months, maybe. Not very happy. He spent 4 or 5 months in all in life. How many people were spent? How many Singaporeans were spent? One was in Paudoya. Although not very happy. Then, okay, this one is the very beginning of the Buddha's life. This is also one Vassa already. After one Vassa, he attained arhatship. Then, again, we also have a very big group in Savatthi. That was the Ekitata, one of the Brahmin. So Ekitata was a Brahmin, also a minister, a former minister, when King Pasenadi Kosala's father was in the throne. This means the king. Later, when Mahakosala, father of King Pasenadi, passed away, then Pasenadi became the king in Savatthi. At the time, Ekitata was teacher of Pasenadi. So when the minister Ekitata came to the hall, meeting hall, the king got up, stood up, and respect his teacher, or to give special place for the teacher, sat down. Then Ekitata thought, the king favor me too much. So that means he cannot enjoy the pleasure of the king because of teacher. As long as I am working for him, he will respect me, like that. So he requests the king to allow him to ordain. At the time, Buddha was not there. Buddha didn't appear yet. The king also requested not to leave the kingdom, not to leave him. But he requested again and again. Finally, the king also followed his desire, his wish. He was ordained with many other Brahmins. All of them were educated. They have a good mind. They also renounced the world. But one more thing, Ekitata was very proud. He was teacher of the king, so one reason. And he was also very high-born, high-class, one reason. Well-educated, one reason. Also a good appearance, one reason. That's why he was very proud. Then, many of people also follow him. He didn't live in the Savatthi, border of 3 countries. Was Anga, Magadha, the border of the country. So many of devotees came and visited him. So we have Asian religion. Many of religion come from that, are like that. Because of fear, we have to faith. We have to follow one religion. Fear. We have to accept religion. Many of Asian religion are like that. Then sometimes because of expectation, we have to get something, then we have to follow religion. Now, Ekitata, his idea is that people scared of the mountain. This means with the mountain, the volcano problem explodes, then it problem, that's why they also scare the mountain. Also they scare of the tree. Tree also, very big tree, can fall down and can destroy many things. They also scare of the wind, also like a forest. So many types of religion ancient time. Then here Agitata talked to his disciple. For your safety, just pay homage to the mountain, pay homage to the big tree, pay homage to the forest. That means for forest they are benefactor. They can get food from the forest. As a benefactor, we have to respect. We expect something from the forest. Then what about the tree also? We also scare, we also can get some profit from the tree. Fruit, we can eat fruits. As benefactor, we have to respect. Then what about the volcano or mountain? We are scared because of fear, respect. This is the way of religion. Very ancient religion like that. So he also gives that kind of instruction to his disciple, whether layman or laywoman, whether ordained person, the same instruction. When the Buddha arrived at Savatthi, the Buddha also came to know it's proper time to tame this group. First, the Buddha asks Venerable Moggallana, Moggallana, now is the time to tame this group. Then you should do it. Then Venerable Moggallana also requested the Buddha, Venerable Sir, they have very big group, thousands of ascetics. Then if I go alone, it's not very easy to tame them. If the Buddha can help, I can do it. Then the Buddha recommended him, you should go first, I will come later. So, when Venerable and Moggallana was going to leave the monastery, he also had to consider it's proper time to go there or not. All of them are in the hall. This means in the open space, discussing the Dhamma. Maybe, like that I was giving Dhamma talk, maybe. Very big group. If he go there directly, he cannot speak anything. They will speak a lot, he cannot handle the case. He realized. Then first, by psychic power, he create the rain. When the rain comes, all of them are what? They go into their own kuti. That means not in group, one by one. It's easy to tame. Then Venerable Moggallana, and especially in the dark, in the evening, a little bit dark already, he knocked the door of Agitata. Also say, Agitata. Say his name. Call his name. Then he got angry. In this world, nobody dare call my name. Even the king. The king was as his students, he will never say Agitata. So in this world, nobody dare call my name. Who are you? Then I'm also a bhikkhu. Why do you come here? Then I just want to spend one night here. We don't have extra kuti, extra hut. We're going to accept you. Then he opened the door and see, where's your bhikkhu properties? I say, bone and ropes. So, okay, now I just came alone, so I didn't bring anything. So he complained, why you dare come like that without properties? And complained many things. Venerable Moggallana requested to spend one night. He rejected. Finally, I think your kitchen is free. Can I live there? Then he say, there's a servant, you're going to live there. Then finally he agreed. So as Buddha tamed Naga before, he also tamed Naga there. All the ascetic, At the very night, could not sleep very well because of like kitchen like a burning, many smoke, many fire. Because Venerable Mahamogla also create many fire by psychic power. The serpent also create many psychic power. His, okay, we can say karmic power. It can also emit many smoke and fire. So the next morning, they thought the bhikkhu passed away already. We would go and see him. When they come, Venerable Ananda or Venerable Mahamogla went the serpent. When seeing that, all the bhikkhu, all the ascetics bound on him. At that time, the Buddha came to see the Venerable Mahamogla. Venerable Mahamogla gave the place, folding his leather robe into four, and also prepare sitting place. When seeing that, they asked, the later one is superior than you, stronger than you, more powerful than you. Venerable Mahamogla said, he's my teacher. Then they believe that even disciple was them as strong, teacher will be stronger. Then they easily accept Buddha's teaching. The Buddha also asks, how do you teach people? Then they say, for your safety, you must pay homage to the mountain, forest, tree. Then the Buddha talked to them. This is not proper dependent. This is not proper refuge. So by paying homage, these kind of things, there cannot be security. There cannot be superiority. Then there cannot be liberation or free from suffering. So you must practice, you must take refuge in Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Then the Buddha also talk about Buddha's quality, Dhamma quality, Sangha quality there. Also the Buddha also talk about Four Noble Truths there. At the end of this course, all of them attained path and fruition knowledge, they became bhikkhu again. So this is happened. This then also happened in Savatthi. This is the biggest gathering, the biggest group who followed the Buddha's teaching. Then we also have many other things explained in, many other sutta explained in Savatthi. Last night I have given one simile, especially Narabindika. Narabindika had very close relationship with the Buddha. That is why he never asked any question to the Buddha. That means he thought, if I ask question, the Buddha had to answer, he may be tired. So let the Buddha rest. He will not answer any question. He will not put any question. The Buddha also knew that donor, Narabindika, had very strong attachment to the Buddha. Very many considerations of the Buddha. But the improper consideration. Then the Buddha, whenever Narabindika came to see the Buddha gave one discourse. All the time. One discourse. Then, actually, Narabindika came to the monastery 3 times a day. One morning, early morning, one for maybe meal, lunch, one time in the evening. Whenever he came to monastery, he brought many things, especially foods for bhikkhus and samneras. When he came to monastery in the evening, he will bring flowers, juice, evening juice for samneras and bhikkhus, like that. So the Buddha explained many suttas for Narabindika. All are for the household life, how to live as a good householder, a good devotees. Then after spending Vassa there, then second Vassa, after 9 months spending in Savatthi, the Buddha went back to Rajagaha, spent the third Vassa there. So now we have to think about the the place, especially the Rajagaha. In the Rajagaha also, Buddha delivered many discourses. There are many things happen in Rajagaha. So very clear one is many, like the king and also the king's younger older son, Abhaya Raja Kumara. In the very beginning, Abhaya was not really Buddhist. He followed the naked ascetic group. So now the king, his father became Sotapanna, but the son still following naked ascetic. Fortunately, their teacher chose him to debate with the Buddha. They find special question for the Buddha. The question was, did the Buddha speak undesirable things to others? This is the question. So here the question said, did the Buddha speak undesirable objects, undesirable things to others? We must answer yes or no. Right? If the Buddha say yes, they will complain. It's not different from ordinary people. Ordinary people also say undesirable things to others. If the Buddha say no, they will complain. Why? You speak ill of Devadatta. They will complain like that. Then they chose the one, Abhaya Raja Kumara. Also teach the question properly. You must ask it like this. When the Buddha answer yes, you must reply like this. When the Buddha say no, you must reply like that. Then they have to think about that question for 3 months. So very well preparation. Then he sent Abhaya to the monastery. When Abhaya, the Prince Abhaya, arrived at the monastery, he looked around. Many Buddhists. If he asks a question now, he cannot win. But for safety, he invited the Buddha to his palace. The Buddha also accepted his meal. Also could know he will become Buddhist the next day. The next day, he also get ready. Get ready means the Prince Abhaya Raja Kumara prepared very well. Then he bring one of the small kids in his lap. If he is going to lose in the debate, he will make the baby cry. He had the plan. Then after meal, he asks the question, Venerable Sir, did the Buddha speak something undesirable for others? The Buddha answer, it depends. Then it's a big shock for him. Say, now Nikanda, this means naked ascetic, lost again. They have to think about this simple question for 3 months. Now you just say only one word, it depends, spoil everything. Then the Buddha explained what to speak. So, if it's untruth, unbeneficial, undesirable, the Buddha will never say. Similarly, if it's a truth, not beneficial, undesirable, the Buddha will never say. Although it's untruth, but beneficial, desirable, Buddha will never say. Okay, now here two things Buddha say. This means it must be beneficial and truth. This is the main point. Another one, desirable or undesirable, is not very important. So here the Buddha mentioned, although it's desirable, the Buddha will speak according to time and condition. If it's proper time, the Buddha will speak out. In improper time, the Buddha will never speak. Then, if it is undesirable also, there's a truth, beneficial, but undesirable. Also, time and condition. According to time and condition, the Buddha will speak. This is the way of Buddha's practice. Then finally, the prince became Buddhist. He followed the Buddha's teaching. So, we have many other stories in Rajagaha, especially Jambuka, one of the men, one of the naked ascetic, also followed the Buddha teaching in Rajagaha. Another thing is Sumana florist. When Buddha was going for Bindabada, he offered flowers to the Buddha. Then it became the flower canopy behind the Buddha, on the top of the Buddha, beside two sides of the Buddha, also very the glorious view. That's why the king also offered him many things. This thing also happened in Rajagaha. So it can be after second Vassa, before the Vassa maybe. So in brief, the Buddha spent second Vassa, third Vassa, fourth Vassa in Rajagaha. So giving many discourse in Rajagaha, then many people also came and take bath and fresh knowledge at the time. Then there were also many other monasteries around the Rajagaha. When the Buddha entered Nibbana, in the list it mentioned there are 18 big monasteries around Rajagaha, not small monastery, big monastery. Maybe hundreds of people can live in that monastery. Okay, now we better move to the next Vassa, right? Now 4 Vassa already. In maybe this time, if I can send you Daodensa, is enough. Right? Okay, now next one, we have to go to Vesali. Okay, so first Vassa is in Vesali. Then in the Vesali, the Buddha was at the time spending in Rajagaha, but Vesali there's a famine, the crisis in Vesali. First they have a famine, not enough food, people have sickness, then another crisis come. Because of sickness, people pass away, then many non-human beings also attack them, and full of dangers. Then many people also complain, the king, why you cannot accept all the things? Then finally, many of people recommended you better invite the Buddha. Where's the Buddha? The Buddha was in Rajagaha. Then they also wish to have good relationship with the king, Bimbisara. So first we have to approach King Bimbisara and request him to send the Buddha. When they approached King Bimbisara and requested, Bimbisara said, Buddha does not belong to me. If he don't wish, I cannot ask him to go also. You better ask the Buddha. Buddha has very strong compassion, he may follow. Then they approached the Buddha and requested. The Buddha agreed. Then urgently, King Bimbisara also came to see the Buddha and asked whether the Buddha had accepted or not. Knowing that the Buddha had already accepted to go to Vesali, then King Bimbisara asked the Buddha to wait for a while. He had to prepare the road. So he prepared the road to Ganga River. So 5 yojana. From Rajagaha to Ganga River, there are 5 yojanas. Very far. Then from Ganga to Vesali, 3 yojana. Ganga itself is very white. Now when you go to Bulgaria, you can see very white. Oh, it's a damage, very white already. It's already damaged river. Still very white. Then King Bimbisara prepared the roads very well. When hearing that Vesali, the literary prince and also the king also prepared very well from their side. So the Buddha was invited to the Ganges River. There are many boats are waiting for the Buddha. Also, although the Buddha have psychic power, they invite the Buddha by boat. As soon as the Buddha arrived at other side of Ganga River, it started heavy rain. Then many of the water bring all the crops to the river. Also it cleaned the land, the country. Then everybody knows the Buddha gave special sutta, Ratana Sutta. First the Buddha talked to Venerable, the Buddha taught Ratana Sutta to Venerable Ananda. Venerable Ananda memorized. After that, using his water from his bowl, he splashed all over the country, all over the city, whole night. It took around 7 days. The last day, the Buddha himself chant Ratana Sutta, recite Ratana Sutta. Then by the power of Ratana Sutta, they could recover. So now you have known Ratana Sutta, right? But I should introduce only very small part of Ratana Sutta. What is the meaning of Ratana? Gems or jewelry, right? Okay. Now I have to introduce Pali definition. Ratana means, the first one definition is Chitti Kata. Chitti Kata means highly respect or respectable, or it make the owner happy. So when you have jewelry or gems, it will make you happy. Right? This is the meaning of Ratana. Then again, Mahaka, high price, very valuable. This is called Ratana. Another then is Atula, incomparable. We cannot compare with anything. Then Dunlapa Dasana, difficult to see. I believe that one because I was born in Myanmar. I spent my time in Mandalay for more than 5 years. It's very close to the Mogul. Ruby, where we can get ruby. Now I'm more than 41. I have never seen ruby. I believe it's very difficult to see. Okay, this is it. The difficult to do. Another normal Sata Pariboga, only high class can use. This is a natural jewel or gems. But now in the case of the Ratana, mentioned in the Ratana Sutta, this is Buddha's Dhamma and Sangha. This kind of jewelry. So the first one, Titi Kata. When we can see Buddha, we'll be very happy. We will respect. Let alone Buddha. When Paul shall come here, how do you feel? All the people are busy, right? So that means even Pa-Auk said, just very late bhikkhu compared to the Buddha, very, very minor. So Sri Lanka said, Mahathira came here, he will be busy. But his living style is totally different from others. Right? That's why it makes our mind more delightable. So in brief, if there's a real jewel, then like a Buddha Dhamma Sangha, it will make mind happy, highly respected. Another one is high price. Maybe ruby will be very expensive, but they have limited price. But when we say Buddha, we cannot limit the price. It's beyond our limit. Similarly, the Dhamma, after attaining Sotapatti path, unfortunately, you cannot know how valuable it was. You cannot calculate. This is a higher price, higher value. The Atula incomparable. So that means to compare to one ruby, we have many other ruby. Not only one, many rubies we can compare, bigger and smaller. Many other jewelry also, for example, like this now, diamond, gem, ruby, emerald, many. Then, don't have that's not difficult to see. Let alone part unfortunately, nimitta is very difficult to see. Even nimitta, very difficult to see. Right? So if we talk about path, unfortunately, it will be very far. So now very simple thing, even nimitta, not very easy to see, difficult to see. So it will be very difficult to see nama and rupa, cause and relationship, path and fruition knowledge. That's why don't know about dasana. So if I want to see ruby, I can go to Mogo anytime. I can see. Right? If I don't want to go to Mogo also, I can go to any shop in Mandalay. Go and see, no problem. Then that kind of jewel is actually, if we want to see, we can go and see anytime. Then in the case of the Dhamma, although we're trying to see, the more we look for it, the farther it was. Anyway, on the last one, Anomasata Paribhoga, that means only the high class can use. Only we have very high morality, high concentration, and high insight knowledge. We may have path and fruition knowledge. We can see Nibbana. We can enjoy the bliss of Nibbana. This also only high class can use. That's the definitions of Ratna according to the commentary. So, you have already know the stanza. Yang Genji Vidam, Idawa Hurawa Sekesuwa. Yang Ratna Panita, Anasama Aritata Kadena, Idami Bodhi Ratna Panita. That one, right? So in that stanza I mentioned, in this world or in any other worlds, there are no treasure or gems like the Tathagata, the Buddha. This is only one. We cannot compare with anybody. Nobody can practice like him. Nobody can achieve very high attainments like him. This is the only person. That's why this is also the first jewelry, the Buddha mentioned in the Ratana Sutta. Second one, Kaya, Viraga, Amada, Panita, Yarajaga, Sajamuni Samahito. Not in a Damina Samona Vijati. So we cannot compare with the Dhamma also. You have to make Kaya, Viraga means detachment. So that means the Dhamma can make people to stop attachment or to eradicate attachment. That's why this is called Viraga. Amadam, deathless. The Dhamma can lead to the deathless. Then the Dhamma is also expounded by the Buddha. Sakyamuni. Then, one more thing is samahito, well concentrated person. Dharma is also expounded by well concentrated person. We have one Sayadaw. I think many people may know Sirigu Sayadaw. Sirigu Sayadaw's teacher is also well known all over the country. We call Niskan Sayadaw. In his time, he memorized many suttas. After memorizing, he delivered. He gave Dhamma talk. Even Jataka story, he memorized from beginning to the end, plain Bali. Then he gave Dhamma talk. Then, previously we don't have many novels or poems like nowadays we have many novels. That kind of thing is not very popular in Myanmar up to his time. But later, many books. Many people write many books. Also, sometimes they copy from Western scholar. They translate many books from the Western country. Then, many people like that kind of translation, that kind of books. Then many people also complain him, especially the Sayadaw. He just follow Sutta strictly. Then they say, that kind of Dhamma talk is not easy to listen, not that much willing to listen. If we just, that kind of Dhamma, we don't read that kind of Dhamma books also, not that much interesting. If we read that kind of thing is more interesting. Many people talk to him like that. Then finally, Sayadaw talked to them very simply. Okay. Cow and bull eat grass. Human eat rice. He said very simple. Right? Cow and bull eat grass. Sure. Human eat rice. So that means you can eat whatever you like. It's who you are. Sayadaw said like that. Anyway, so now Sayadaw said that one. Actually, people respect after taking intoxicants, taking alcohol and write something. They like that kind of things. After meditating, if we explain, they don't listen. Right? So meditating, then we also learn something, explain, they don't want to listen. Drinking, talk many things, they listen. Then Sayadaw said that one, grass and rice. Then again, another one is like a Yamboda Setopri when I used to change Samadhi Manadari Kanya Mahu. Yes, the one I talk about Samadhi, concentration. The power of concentration. So, in the very beginning also, I have already explained, the Four Noble Truths can be found in only Buddha's teaching. Four Noble Truths. Similarly, Noble Eightfold Paths can be found only in the Buddha's teaching. The Buddha also said, if there is no Noble Eightfold Paths, there cannot be any noble person in that teaching, in that dispensation. Whether Buddhist or non-Buddhist ascetic, whether Buddhist society or non-Buddhist society. So, then the Buddha also talk about the Sangha. Yebukala, Atasadam Basada, Sada Yugani Hundi. Then, the Buddha also mentioned the quality of the Sangha there. You have already know, Sobodipano, etc. You have already know. So, actually, the meaning of Parita means we have to tell the truth. After telling the truth, we determine something. Here also, by telling this truth, may there be happiness. This is the Buddha's way. This is also a kind of determination. Adhitthana Parami. So in many Parita chanting, we can find Adhitthana Parami. Okay? So by telling this kind of truth, may there be happiness. Because Vajjisaja, telling the truth. So, when the Buddha was expanding in Vaisali, the Buddha father passed away. the fifth Vassa, the Buddha father passed away. Also, he attained headship in the palace. At the very day he passed away, he entered Nirvana. Then, you know already, the Buddha's aunt, Prajapati Gautami, requested for bhikkhuni ordination. So, the first Vassa, second Vassa, third Vassa, fourth Vassa, no bhikkhuni. In the fifth Vassa, the Buddha allowed bhikkhuni ordination. So, after that, Buddha spending Vassa in Vesali, Buddha actually, after that, Buddha went back to Rajagaha. We can imagine who will be ordained there. One of the queen, very beautiful queen, Khema, was ordained next Vassa in Rajagaha. Okay, so now, very short already, right? Okay, then, actually there are many things that happen in Vesali also. For example, Sajjaka Paribhajaka came to talk to the Buddha, also debate. Two times Buddha he came to the Buddha. The first you have on the first time he lost. He brought many people. He also declared, I will defeat Gautama. When he really asked, he just talked about anatta and atta. But the Buddha talked about anatta, giving many simile. Then he lost. He was defeated by the Buddha. Very shameful. Then second time he came to see the Buddha again. With the thoughts. Previously, I brought many people. I am defeated by the Gautama. Second time, now, I will not bring anybody, I will go alone. I will try to debate with the Buddha again. If I win, I will spread the news. If I fail, nobody knew. He had that kind of mind. And approach the Buddha again and ask about training. Buddha, you don't teach your disciple to train bodily and mentally. There are many other ascetic, they train bodily, their bodily activities. For example, eating very little. Eating very little means they will eat every second day, every 3 days, one time in every 3 days, once a week, once a month, like that. And they also drink very little. They sleep in the thorns. They will sink in the water, dive in the water, spend a long time like that. They train themselves like that. They also thought if they train like that, their body become very tired, no defilements. So they train like that. Then, when the Buddha replied him, what do you mean, bodily training? Then Sajjaka explained all the things. Eating a little, every second day, every 3 days, something like that. Then, what about mental training? Then he couldn't answer anything. What's the mental training? So, the Buddha said, you say body training, you don't know mental training. This is not really body training. Then why I can say like that? Buddha talk about his practice in Uruvela forest. How he practiced. Actually, if we were to talk about Buddha Vassa, it's very easy. So now I choose all the information. About Uruvela forest from this sutta, Mahasajjaka Sutta. The Buddha explained very much in detail how he practiced controlling his breath. Everything will be there. Eating very little also there. Buddha explained very much in detail how he trained bodily. Also how he trained mentally. Attaining jhana and step. So, finally, Sajjaka Paribhajaka agree with the Buddha, but he didn't say anything that please accept me as your disciple. That means he was very proud. As I have explained about Sanjaya, Venerable Sariputta's former teacher. He didn't wish to be small pots. He wished to be big pot. That's why it became his parami. Sajjaka Paribhajaka also. After listening a very long discourse, it was only for his parami. He cannot attain anything. But later, after Buddha's Nirvana, he was born in Sri Lanka. He became a well-known arhat later. So there are many other things happen in Vesali. Okay. Anyway, now we have jewelries in Vesali. Last night I have already said, if we have external jewelries, it's also dangerous. Full of dangers with external jewelries. If we keep our jewelry in our hearts, nobody can see it. Nobody can see it. It really belongs to us. Then all other jewelries belong to many people. They just visit us. Right? For example, we have a car. Just visitor. After selling the car will go. We have a house. Just visitor. After some time, it will belong to other. We have family. Just visitor. Short time, it belong to us. If we pass away, it belong to other. Right? Then many things like that. So our belonging is our own training. Dana. If we are not free, we can ask somebody to offer for us. We can give donation. We can ask them to go to the monastery, offer. In the case of Sila, we cannot ask anybody. We must do by ourselves. No external help. We ourselves must do. Similarly, meditation very clear. If we ask somebody, okay, I'm not free, please go to meditation center, meditate. It will be only for that person meditation, not our meditation. So that means our real duty is Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Our real duties. This is our real belonging. All others belong to others, many people. So if I cannot do, for example, if I cannot get Dhamma talk here, Uptanaka also can get Dhamma talk here. Many people can do it. So that means if I cannot meditate, I cannot ask anybody to help me. Right? So we have to know what's our own belonging, properties. If we know it, we may have more interest in our own responsibilities, duties, and belonging. So the Buddha also said, if we have many belonging, it will make us happy. But we have to possess many things. Sila, very high standard Sila. Samadhi should be high standard Sila, Samadhi. Wisdom should be high standard wisdom. If we have all these belonging, then all these properties, we can say we are rich. The wealthiest person all over the world. Okay? So, Buddha also said, if you can train your minds, all over the world will follow you. So now, we have to train ourselves, we have to train our minds. Although we don't want all the people to follow us, they will follow us naturally. Okay? By the power of our mind. So may you all be able to practice 3 trainings, and may you all be able to possess many joy in your heart. Mm. 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 Mm.
Passed away because he attained arahantship, or because he was of old age?
Actually, both. Huh? Both means we can say his lifespan is also very old, more than 80 years already. This is also one reason. Another thing is, after arahantship, he must be ordained. If he cannot ordain, he will enter nirvana in that very day. So there are many cases like that. And Nakula Pita also attained arahantship as a lay person, also enter nirvana in that very day. Right? So like Khema Theri, he attained arahantship as a lay woman, but the King Bimbisara allowed her to be ordained. She continues her ordained life. Okay.
Nowadays, there's no more bhikkhuni. So if a female attained arahantship, does it mean that she also has to pass away into parinibbana on that very day? Or if she's a 10 preceptor or 8 preceptor, she can stay on as an arahant?
Many people ask this question. Right? Okay, so this is also difficult to say now. We can say like human clothes is not worthy of arahantship. This is the main point. If ordained person appearance possibility to continue his ordained life maybe, ordained life maybe. So, Pa-Auk, you ask this kind of question to Pa-Auk, Sarah say very easy. Huh? So far, I haven't met any Sarah who attained arahantship, so I cannot say it. Okay. The any more? Up to what time do you have question and answer? Especially in Saturday and Sunday, today and tomorrow, eh? Today. Up to what time? Only 4 o'clock. Question and answer up to 4 o'clock. So okay. Okay. Okay.
Why Buddha disciple passed away earlier than Buddha?
Actually, this is also the nature. They know, for example, like in the case of Venerable Sariputta, he reviewed his lifespan, whether his lifespan will remain or not. Another thing, he also reviewed all the past previous Buddha's dispensation, whether the chief disciple entered nirvana earlier than Buddha or not. He had that kind of reviewing. After that, he realized all the previous Buddha also, chief disciple entered nirvana first, so he entered earlier. This was the nature. Huh?
Venerable Sariputta going back to his hometown to meet his mother. Then his mother not sad. He told his mother he will be Nibbana. Then his mother not sad.
Okay, so actually she may be sad, maybe, but one more thing, she could see many wonderful things at the very night. So, for example, 4 devas came to see him, to take care of him. Then one thing that mother asked, who are they? They are 4 devas, great devas. Then mother also feel happy. Oh, my son is more powerful than 4 devas. All the 4 devas have to come to see my son. For example, like that. Then again, Kensaka came. Kensaka came also the same. She asked, who is that man? This is the Kensaka. Oh, my son is very powerful. Even Kinsaka came to take care of him. Then similarly, Brahma came to see him. Then mother also asked, who are they? Who is he? He is a Brahma. Then actually the mother paid homage to Brahma. This is the way he tamed his mother. After that, mother also realized, oh, my son is more powerful than our God, Brahma. Right? Then, if my son's teacher, Buddha, will be more powerful, then she had that kind of thought, how am I become flexible? Then Venerable Buddha give Dhamma talk to her, and he can attain Sotabhati. Like that. Huh? So that means, for example, you may have seen many of your niece or nephew or grandchildren or anything. If they are well educated, how do you feel? Huh? Okay then.
Bhante, yesterday's Dhamma talk, I did not get Bhante's meaning very well. Hope Bhante can explain. Bhante is talking about dana. If we dana, whether we should choose receiver or not. Okay. Bhante mentioned that if like a Buddha, or Bodhisattva, when such a high attainment people, they don't choose. But Bhante can advise that, for example, for us, should we really have to choose receiver or not? This is one question.
Sure.
Okay. Another question, and why? Okay. Another question is that what I understand about parami for Bodhisattva is that they have to fulfill the perfection, all the perfections, before they can attain Buddhahood. But for us, we do not have such aspiration to be a Buddha. Maybe we just hope to have Nibbana, in future. So, what parami is most important? Meaning, not possible for us to maybe to train ourselves for the utmost parami. So, what is Bhante's advice for us?
Okay. So first dana, right? So the main point is, after offering, don't regret. This is the main point. Huh? So whether you choose or you don't choose is not really the main point, actually. That's why I also have said, skillful farmer and unskillful farmer. That means if we have wise intention most of the time, although you don't choose receiver, no problem. You can offer anywhere. Beggars, no problem. That means after actually you just offer for the welfare of the beggar, not for your own welfare. If you have that kind of mind, offer anybody, no problem. Right? Sometimes after offering, for example, some crazy man, for example, after offering, then they will make something improper in front of you, or they will throw stone at you, for example. Those can happen, for example, right? You may get angry, or you may feel remorse, for example. So if that kind of thing you have to consider. Right? As long as you can rejoice your dana, you say, okay, no problem. So we have one thing, Jaganussati, recollection of charity. So after offering, whenever we recall our dana, we must be able to happy. We must be able to rejoice. This is the main point. If you can rejoice, then it also can lead to concentration. Accept concentration. So that's why actually I haven't given the Dhamma talk here. In Myanmar, I haven't talked many things about that kind of recollection. Many people say, Myanmar also they have very big problem. Many Dhamma talker, if you offer only dana, it prolongs samsara. Meditation is more important. They say like that. Because they have meditation center. They just wish people to come to their center. Right? But when I go out, I talk to them again. Everything is important. Dana is also important. People say, dana cannot lead to Nibbana. It's possible to lead Nibbana. No matter how you can rejoice your dana. So, you can offer, after that you can recall. If you can feel calmness, peacefulness, you can also accept concentration. Based on that accept concentration, you can also continue vipassana, attain Nibbana, possible. These are the foundations of Nibbana. That's why I say everything. No need sila, just do vipassana. Many people say like that. I also say openly. Now, last year, if I have a chance to give Dhamma talk, and just talk about that kind of thing. Very simple things. Dana, how to do dana, how to do sila, how important dana, how important sila, everything. Okay? So in brief, after offering, whenever you recall, you must be able to rejoice. This is the main point. Okay? That's the parami. Actually, for ordinary people like us, it's not that much easy to fulfill very high standard parami. Also, our mind will not inclined to that kind of things. Then one more thing, Bodhisattva also have 6 inclination. He will to be free from Lobha, Dosa, Moha 3. After that, he will to live in a secluded place. Then he will to live alone, for example. Or he will to live in the forest, monastery. He will to free from samsara. These are the wishes of Bodhisattva. So basically, we have that kind of wishes. This is this basis of the parami. When we have that kind of wishes, then we can conduce other things. According to Lady Sayadaw, mention only 2: Vijja and then Charana, knowledge and contact. So if we say contact, now dana also contact, sila also contact, samatha also contact. We can say charana. But vipassana can divide into 2 groups. It depends on our intention. For example, I have said, if we want to free from suffering, it can be vijja. If we have many other purposes, it can be charana, contact. So if we have vijja and charana, these 2 are enough, supporting cause of nibbana. So different power of these 2 parami. For example, charana, when we have charana contact, we can see proper teacher in the proper time. Sometimes we met proper teacher when we are very old. That means we don't have very, very strong charana contact. The another thing is vijja. Although we see the teacher, but we cannot achieve anything. That is because of vijja. When we have very weak vijja in the past lives, then we cannot get achievement easily. Very clear one is Ajata Sadhu. He lost everything. Right? So first, here also has very strong parami, but his charana contact is very weak. He met Devadatta earlier than Buddha. He met the Buddha very late. This is a weakness of vijja. So charana. He has a vijja seat in reality. At the end of Samanyaphala Sutta, he could attain Sodapatipatthana fruition knowledge. It's possible. But because of lack of charana contact, he lost everything. Then similarly, we have many other cases. There are some bhikkhu who can attain, who can see the Buddha very old and cannot attain anything, for example. Right? For example, very clear one is Mahadana, one of the wealthy men. When he was young, if he ordained and practiced, he could attain headship. In the second age, if he joined, he can attain Nagami. In that age, if he joined, he can attain Sagadagami. Now he met the Buddha when very old, cannot meditate anymore, cannot attain anything. He lost everything. Not like that. So that means we need both dana, sila, samatha, everything also necessary to do. It will send you to the proper place in the proper time. Then for attainment, we also need vijja seat. Vijja, this means knowledge, especially inside knowledges. So in the case of inside knowledges, 4 elements also can be considered as inside knowledge. descending 4 elements. This is also basis of vipassana. So, if you can fulfill only 2, vijaya and jhana is enough for ordinary people. Huh? Yeah?
The legends say that Mahakassapa kept the Buddha's bow and rope and then enter into the mountains in the Himalayas to wait for the next Buddha.
No.
No.
No, we don't have that kind of thing.
So is that just legend or it's not mentioned?
Especially Myanmar people. Myanmar people create that story. Huh? Cannot be like that. Arhat may not have that kind of expectation. Huh? Yeah.
Until our mind calm, but we are not stable, our mind. In that time, our mind will, will have a doubt. That in that time, our body will feel uncomfortable. Then how to overcome?
Actually, if you analyze too much, you have doubts. This is the normal. Huh? For example, like even breathing, for example, you may try to know very much in detail, analyze too much, investigate too much. The more you analyze, you may have a doubt. Huh? Sometimes you may have only one side, and left side, or only the right side. And you may have doubt whether it's a breath or not. Sometimes you can see around very small, like a thread, very small thing. You may feel it. You may have doubt. Is it breath or not? Right? The more you analyze, the more you have a doubt. The more you have a doubt, then you may have more struggling, more tension. So that means balancing wisdom and faith. These two. We have the enlightenment factors, controlling faculties, right? Viriya and samadhi should be balanced. Similarly, saddha and panya should be balanced. So sometimes we have very strong saddha, belief or confidence. If we don't have wisdom, we will misbelieve. Then again, if we have very strong wisdom, panya, very weak saddha, then we may have more doubt. The more you analyze, the more you have a doubt. That means you have weaker confidence, stronger wisdom. If you try to upgrade your wisdom, your faith, it will be better. Like doing Buddha-nusati, Dhamma-nusati, so on. Okay? Okay. Okay. Huh? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Done? Okay. If no more question, we can share merit. One more, okay.
Sorry, one day, how to make a strong aim for our next life? We can ordain small little age, like Pa-Auk.
Okay, this is also a little bit difficult also. Huh? Now, even in Myanmar, it's very difficult now. So that is also a little bit difficult. Maybe if you have a habit of ordinary life, or if you associate with many ordinary possibility, maybe. Huh? Another thing is interest. If you was born in Buddhist country, you may be interested in ordination. Huh? Like in Myanmar, we can see many small samnita. They are very smart. Huh? Then when seeing that we are our mind inclined to orientation, for example, and like that. That kind of thing can happen. Another is a front also. For example, like last year, I also around summer vacation. I also ordained many small boys and girls. 2 boys don't wish to disturb. 2 boys don't wish to disturb. That I sent to Bali school. Like that. So that means they live in ordinary life. Actually, only I just in the very beginning. Our plan is only 1 week. Mostly in Myanmar we have only 1 week ordination. But after ordination, I also have to go there. Then how many people were disturbed after 1 week? Very few people went to disturb. Okay, then so if like this, I allow you as long as you are happy here. Then when they have to go to school, they disturb. So more than 2 months they spend. So among them, 2 of the boys don't want to disturb. They don't want to continue, so I have to send them to Bali school. Right? So that means environment also. So then we just every day we ask them to meditate. We also have to ask them to chant something. We also just teach some suttas, especially Mangala Sutta, Singalawara Sutta, that kind of suttas. Also many story. Story means they say for Siali side, Siali have to tell story. Bhikkhu side, Bhikkhu have to say story. Like that. So after they were happy, I also give many books for the kids. Then they also read many books. Finally, they were happy. So it depends on environment also, right? If you have that kind of environments, your mind can incline. So just make aspiration. May I be born in the Buddhist background. Very strong Buddhist family. There are also some problem. Some Siali, small girls, they don't want to disturb, but their mother forced them, for example, disturb. That kind of thing also happen. Similarly, boy also, sometimes boy was going to use, but mother forced to disturb. Okay, any other thing? Okay, now we are sharing it, right? Itawadaja amehi sambadam bunya sambadam sabbe deva numodandu sabba sambati siddhiya. Itawadaja amehi sambadam bunya sambadam sabbe buddha numodandu sabba sambati siddhiya. Itawadaja amehi sambadam bunya sambadam sabbe saddha numodandu Sabba Sampati Siddhiya Idam me Nyatinam Hotu Sukhita Hontu Nyatayo Idam me Nyatinam Hotu Sukhita Hontu Nyatayo Idam me Nyatinam Hotu Sukhita Hontu Nyatayo Idam me Bunyam Asawakaya Waham Hotu Idam me Bunyam Nibbanasa Bhajayo Hotu Mama Bunya Vagam Sabba Sadanam Vajemi Te Sabe Me Sama Bunya Vagam Lavandu Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu